Welcome back to another episode of On the Subject. I'm your host, Michael Vilardo, co-founder and CEO of Subject, Subject.com, Subject.ai. You know where to find us. And today we have a very special guest. We're going to start bringing some more fun, loving entertainment your way because we're for the people here. We're here for education. We're here for society. And I have an incredible former educator, former Division I football player at the Fighting Illini, Tim Clary. And this guy, same county as me, McHenry County. So we're actually excited. We made it from McHenry County to Los Angeles. Actually happens to be in Austin, but we're calling it the podcast setup of the world. Welcome to the show today.
I appreciate it. It's a great time to be here. I haven't heard McHenry County in like 17 years, so I'm excited to talk about it.
We love McHenry County here. Shout out Carrie and
Richmond Burton, yeah.
Richmond Burton. Yeah, okay. Let's hear it. Producer has some questions for us. We're going to have a little more focused style for you today, fans.
Does the MLB need to implement a team salary cap just like other leagues?
Oh, man.
Does every league have one? I think so. NHL, NFL, and NBA.
NBA have one.
I mean, I'm all for the, as running a business, rather capitalist, but I do think that, well, I mean, let's see what happens. If the Blue Jays win, they kind of go against the story there, right?
Do.
And the Royals won recently. Yeah, Houston, I mean, I know they had the cheating scandal, but they won.
I think it goes back to, there's your small market team, big market team, right? And then you have your owners that just don't like to invest like the Cubs have always done, right?
Yep.
Then you have your Moneyball teams.
Yeah, the A's.
That's a great
Sacramento
philosophy.
A's
It's
now.
like a challenge, right? How do you build this roster that doesn't cost as much as the Dodgers and compete? I think that's a fun aspect of the game that people don't talk about as much.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing, and I'm a huge fan of baseball with the craftiness, to your point. Like, the way that they have to use sabermetrics and the stats, so impressive. I would say keep it as is. I think that baseball actually has more parity than the sport. NFL's the best, for sure. But other than that, NBA, you're not seeing a lot of parity.
100%. And I think with the Dodgers, they just buy their titles, right? That's what everyone says. Oh, they bought their title. The Cubs don't get talked about like that. They don't. They were homegrown through pretty much, I think 90% of their roster they drafted or traded for in the minors that came up.
So good.
So it's
that team should have won at least 2 World Series.
I know, we don't want to talk about it.
That was so
Very
upsetting.
sad.
Were you in Chicago in 2016? Or?
Yeah, I was in Chicago.
Yeah, so was I. That was the best time to ever be there. I think that was literally when Chicago peaked. 2016, October. Or I guess they won technically on November 2nd or 3rd when they won Game 7.
Yes.
But it was the peak. Where were you when they won the World Series?
I was in Champaign.
Nice. Oh, so they were you at Cam's?
Yeah. No, I think I was
Red
with
Lion?
my wife. Now wife. My girlfriend at the time was now my wife. I think we were just hanging out. I'm trying to remember. It was like a later game because there was a delay.
Yeah. No, I remember I was at Lincoln Avenue Social in Lincoln Park, Illinois, because Game 7 was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But it was still very special. I remember literally, I think the rest of the week nobody went to work.
Had a rain delay, right?
It was a long rain delay. And we got to get this game over. Yeah, because that stalled the momentum, which was good because the Guardians were coming back at the time, and then they had all the momentum, and then the rain delay kind of halted them. And I'll never forget that night and taking the train home and the whole streets packed, people yelling. The parade, people don't realize this. The parade won. There were 6 million people there. It's the largest gathering in the history of the Western Hemisphere.
Really?
Look it up on Wikipedia. So all the large gatherings in the history of the world are typically religious pilgrimages to Jerusalem and other places in the Middle East. Western Hemisphere, Cubs World Series.
That's awesome. I went to a couple of the Blackhawks parades, but I did not make it to the Cubs.
Yeah, I was living down there, so it was pretty easy. It was a great weekend, and that's one of the big reasons too. I don't know if you had any friends, but from playing on this team in McHenry County, Crystal Lake Leafs. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
So that's the youth team there. That's why I'm a Leafs fan.
Oh, okay.
Because
this
Crystal Lake Leafs.
now.
Yeah. Because and back then when we were growing up, the Hawks weren't on TV. Because the owner had a very so they had a transition in ownership when they went to the Sun, and then they won 3 cups when we were high school, college age. When we were youth, they did not have any of the home games on TV. Their approach was, then no fans will go to the game. Yet they only had 5,000.
See, I'm probably such a bandwagon and watching.
So the Hawks were running a really difficult organization, and then I played on the Leafs, and I went to Canada one time. I'm like, this is amazing. Everyone loves hockey here. I'm a Leafs fan, and so with that, it makes me think if they were to ever win a cup, it'd be similar to that Cubs experience.
Oh, for sure.
The same kind of drought. Chicago's the capital of the Midwest. So you have people like Iowa, Indiana, everyone coming for the Toronto. If they were to win, everyone across the country would come in. So I'm kind of attaching my soul to a second Cubs experience for the Leafs.
Well, they've looked all right to start the season. I have watched a little bit of hockey.
Let's go.
The Hawks look good too. So.
The Hawks look great. I'm happy for them getting back. We're all about Chicago here.
College football quarterbacks in the Heisman race. Who
I'm very opinion.
is going to win it?
Okay, this is going to be hard for me to be able to talk through this with Tim because this guy actually played D1 football, but I think I could hold my own, but I'm excited to see. So my guy, my number one is Mendoza from Indiana. I love him. He's a grad transfer, super smart kid. His brother's the backup quarterback. Yep. I love everything. He's from South Florida, Latino guy. I think this guy is absolutely amazing, and he's so humble. You know, he only has a LinkedIn social media because he cares about his work. Like, he doesn't have any other socials.
Right. Well, no, I think the Mendoza kid's super talented. He is a product of the system.
Yeah, I know you're. Signetti's awesome too. I'm a big fan. I love how he coaches. Yes.
I really thought he'd be one and done in Indiana, go somewhere bigger, but they just signed him 10 years now, and I don't know. I think odds-on favorite. I think Mendoza's up there. I'm a Diego Pavia kid.
Oh, I love him too. I'm a huge fan. I love the chip on the shoulder.
Pavia guy.
Wait, are you going to the game this weekend?
No, but I know he's going to be here. He's going to beat.
I know.
Texas.
I was trying to sell my wife on going to the game. I'm like, do you know who Diego Pavia is? She's like, I've never heard of this
I would love to, but
yeah, it's like this is a top 25 matchup in Austin this weekend.
If they win, it's going to be the first time they've beaten 3 top 25 teams in a row in their school history.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I'm rooting for Diego.
I do love, and you know what's cool about him is that he took a risk and he sued the NCAA, and he got another year of eligibility,
100%.
Which has been huge, not only for Vanderbilt, for him. Like, think about how much money he's making this year versus what he would have had otherwise.
And that coach's belief in him, I think, has just drove him to new heights that he couldn't ever.
I love that kid. I agree. I like that. That's a good choice, too.
I really do hope they pull out. It's going to be tough. That's a tough defense Texas has.
Yeah, so you got two great quarterbacks there. I think college football's been so much fun to watch this year.
100%. I like the Boise State kid.
Yeah, he's talented.
I just think in general, just the Heisman race is subjective to a team overall. Like,
you got to be winning.
If you're a 2-10 team but have a stud, like, you just don't get considered, which is flawed and to an extent. But I don't know. I think Diego can pull it off. He just needs to beat Texas and be relevant come playoff time. I think he has an edge.
Yeah, I like it. So we got to see how those two end up on the end of the year. I'm loving this. I really hope that they have a playoff game either. Might not be the most likely, but UT or Texas A&M.
Right.
I'd like to go. That's
the Texas A&M quarterback's really good too.
He is, and that's only hour 40 from here.
Right. If they didn't have such a good defense, he'd probably be the favorite.
Yeah,
because they have he's really good defense.
I know people are giving Manziel a lot of flack. Like, why is he not supporting the A&M kid as much as he is with Diego? But I think he sees a lot of Diego in himself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, Diego's just kind of wild card.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
which is fun.
Balls. And
I know, and he's got the chains, and he's hanging out with Theo.
His confidence is so. It's just like I can tell that the team just believes in him, which exudes confidence for the rest of the team. And then I think the Bama win, ever since the Bama win last year, they haven't ever looked back. They've just been on they've taken some losses, but they're like, we're still here.
Yeah, I mean, look at the loss this year. They didn't take it too hard. They switched. How funny was that with Manziel on the sideline doing the Heisman pose to the Alabama fans? That was ridiculous.
Diego hit the Heisman pose. I was like,
hey, look, you're sitting in the proverbial seat Manziel sat in. He was on the spot.
Oh, man, I hope I get the lucky genes here. That guy runs a successful business now.
Does he?
I think. Somewhere in Texas.
We'll get him back on the pod.
Okay, has the new playoffs revived college football, kind of brought life to smaller teams, or has it made it worse, not as competitive?
I, as a fan, and I'm much more casual than Tim, he played in it. I like it better personally because I think people are now playing tougher schedules because they know they can come back from it. I think that it's encouraged the opportunity to be a 1 or 2 loss team and still win a championship. And I think overall that's a better product on the field. And the TV ratings seem to back up the claim. The ratings last year were phenomenal. I think they're even better this year. I think the question is, do you conflate the college football playoff with NIL transfer portal, because they both did come to light at the same time. They are very separate issues, but if we're talking just about the playoff, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, it's a twofold question, right? It happened in conjunction with NIL now, and NIL has allowed the lesser team to achieve because they can spend some money on the important positions and have a chance, right? The Diego Pavias of the world.
Well said. Indiana even to some extent.
A lot of these teams that if you've look back 10 years ago, it was Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State.
Wasn't Alabama and Clemson 3 or 4 years in a row?
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
It was so boring.
Now it's I think someone like Ashton Genty doesn't get drafted as high as he does without being in the playoff.
Yeah,
right, and being
it's
considered
true.
the Heisman. But having that exposure allows kids to want to travel or take on the NIL and transfer to a smaller school because they could be a bigger name and potentially
Yep.
have that exposure and potentially make a playoff. I think it's been great, honestly. If I was playing still, heck yeah. I'm in Illinois. I'm not ever going to be considered for a top 2 seed in the
Yeah.
Big Ten. You got Ohio State, Penn State. You got all the Michigans of the world that you're going to beat out and have 2 different conferences. Well, now you can take 2, 3 teams from the Big Ten. Oh, heck yeah. I'm all for
I
it.
love it. No, the Big Ten is, I'm Purdue baseball for all the fans out there. So former Big Ten athlete as well. We got the good connection
Yeah.
there too. I think it's fantastic. I love watching every weekend because it's so competitive. And I mean, look at last year. Ryan Day, Ohio State, everyone's calling for his job. He lost to
Right.
Michigan. This guy's the worst coach in the world. Then 3 weeks later, he's won a national title.
100%.
And now they look likely to have a good chance of back to back. Now this guy's the toast of the town, greatest thing that ever happened.
Right.
So I think it's because 3 or 4 years ago, he might have been fired. He
Yeah.
might have been fired because they would not have made the playoffs. And their last moment of the year would have been his back-to-back loss to Michigan. He might have been fired. Instead, he gets a chance at redemption as he deserves. And I'm a Michigan fan, by the way, but I think it's
hard
awesome.
for you to say this, huh?
Yeah. Got to make it clear. Bryce Underwood for Heisman. Let's go, Bryce.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, I think at the end of the day, the best teams always prevail, right? So
Agreed.
if you're going to be the
Bring
best
rise
team,
to
you're
the
going to win
top.
the 3 and you're going to win the national championship. It's like when I was playing the Urban Meyer team with Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott,
my, so good.
like Barrett, like that team, I mean, obviously scooted through the national championship. A team like that today is going to prevail in a 12-team playoff regardless. So
Yep.
if you got the team, it doesn't matter how many teams are in the playoff. You're gonna win if that's how good you are. I think the playoff just gives parity to the lesser teams. That Cinderella story, right? NCAA basketball has it. Why can't football?
Yeah, well, what do you think about, like, let's talk about Indiana, for instance, especially, we're both close enough to that school, a lot of people who went there, that's a program that, 5 years ago, bottom 20% in NCAA
Yeah.
Division One football, D1A football. Do you think, assuming Signetti stays, which seems likely now with the, extension
Yeah.
and the buyout, that someone like that can leapfrog some of these SEC programs because the Indiana alumni are wealthier and able to put more money into the program?
So I was actually talking to a alum of Illinois about this who also donates to the school, and he thinks that not just NIL, but just in terms of monetary donation to success of athletic programs, skyrockets programs a lot faster than they did 10 years ago, right? Indiana 10 years ago couldn't do what they did without the NIL and the alumni base that they have, right? So you win 8 games, right? Or Signetti, how many games you win last year? 10?
I think he won 10. But like everyone was like, oh, they didn't play anybody, and then they got beat pretty bad in the
Yeah,
first
they
round.
got
Was it in
spanked.
Tennessee or
Yeah,
Notre
they got
Dame?
spanked pretty bad. I think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah, because it was the Battle of Indiana.
They came
yeah.
back late and tried.
Yeah.
A team like that wins 10 one year, it's kind of like, oh, it's a one-off. We're not really going to invest.
That's what I kind of thought. I'm like, but this guy got a
But
payday
now
out of
that you
it
got
for
12
him.
team in the playoffs, you're like, well, we only need to win 9 or 10
Yep.
in the Big Ten and be relevant to get in. So
And then
now
anyone
it's
can
like
win.
it's expedited. I think, honestly, Indiana, I don't know if they're the real deal. They have played.
But beat Oregon though.
They did beat Oregon.
They're
but I'm a
they're
little skeptical of
they're
Oregon.
more of the real deal this year than last year. Would you say?
I do agree with that. Yes. Basically, I think their wide receivers are better than Ohio State's, which says a lot.
Which is a lie. Ohio State's wide
has
receiver you.
the names, but the numbers go with Indiana quite a bit. I wish Ohio State and Indiana played in the regular season just to kind of weed out.
Yeah, I agree.
Ohio State really hasn't beaten anyone either. Illinois is
Yeah,
probably their best.
What about
win.
Texas?
Yeah, like no one's really beaten anyone besides Indiana.
Yeah, I know,
Beat
they've-
Oregon. The top teams really haven't played thus
Well,
far.
so what do you think? Like like looking at Signetti, looking at Indiana. This year they got another new quarterback. Is it really just the key? And like I think about it, with running Subject, like as an exec, like you make one or two exceptional hires, one or two exceptional recruits, and you make it because like him getting the quarterback so right. And I
Yes.
hear you on the system piece, but like that pretty much makes or breaks the year. And like
100%.
even I was talking to my dad, who's a huge Michigan fan, like it's the whole life. And so like obviously Bryce Underwood's awesome, but he's almost like it's almost better to just pluck a junior senior transfer who is ready to step in right away
For sure.
than to bet on developing someone for 3 years.
I think it's also twofold. Think of a case like Penn State.
Yeah,
They haven't gotten the OC pick right in 4 years.
Yeah.
Drew Aller had 3 different OCs.
that was such tough for
Couldn't
that kid. He seemed like
perform.
a good kid too.
Had to can the head coach, right?
That was brutal. I wonder where he's gonna.
If you
end up
don't
going.
have the coach with the system paired with the quarterback that can mentally handle it with the talent.
It's true. It's a lot of mental and it's
You're
emotionally
balancing, okay, is it the kid? Is it the coach? Is it the
challenging.
play calling? Is it the scheme? That's a hard balance. And there's so much behind the scenes that, like someone that hasn't played or been there doesn't realize. Like that Mendoza kid is dissecting a defense, blitz coverages on third down, what they're rolling to back end. He's developed that in a year, really.
So
He's been
good.
1 year under Signetti, who's probably
But he
pretty
didn't
brilliant.
have that great of a career before Indiana,
No,
right?
he had a horrible career.
Very mediocre. So like that's where I'm like, he really did kind of hit goal. Oh, you can't even go back before the transfer portal, but through the grad transfer portal, which I also did as well, as like Coach O getting Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Like, see, Joe Burrow wasn't a big deal either
Ohio
because he,
State
yeah,
kid that
three
couldn't
3 years
pan
on the
out.
Pine.
Yeah.
And his first year at LSU was solid, but not fantastic. But
No.
like getting the quarterback, if you get the quarterback right, you have a very legitimate chance at a top,
If
let's
you
call it
have,
top
if
20
you have a
program.
great scheme, a great teacher as a coach, the quarterback is easier to hit on. Like Sean Payton with Bo Nix.
He's
Bo
crushing
Nix
it.
wasn't a world beater. It's
No,
the
I know. No
fourth-
one thought that.
Fourth quarterback
To
drafted.
boot Russell Wilson to go with Bo Nix, people
Yeah.
are like, what are you doing?
But now he's got a kid that can learn and perform. He's got a kid that's not
yeah,
afraid
he's
to
good within
take
the
shots.
system. Yeah,
He's
you got to get the
learning.
right fit.
Just
That's
wait
so
until
true.
next year. Bo Nix might be an MVP candidate.
It's a good point, but see, that's why it's everything is a team. Hiring
It's
the right
so
team,
hard.
it's all about the team. But you're right, especially in football. And that's why I love and again, I didn't get to play, which I'm so envious of. One of my biggest regrets. But the GM quarterback coach combo, and like in college, the coach is kind of the GM
Do you watch
too.
the Hard Knocks now?
Oh, I watch everything. Yeah, I
That
love
is
the stuff.
such good insight into like
It's so fun.
thought process and like just a decision to like where are you going to go next year, right? What's the owner's opinion on Saquon? That's the year the Giants were.
That was
right?
brutal.
Owner loves Saquon. They didn't want to pay Saquon. Saquon walks, destroys in the next year. Like there's so many moving pieces that you don't realize. You're trying to balance politics with an owner, and then
Oh, it's hard. Yeah, you're right. You have so
roster
many
with
constituents.
money.
It's just
Yeah,
like
it's
running a
like-
business. You got a board, you got employees, you got teammates. There's so many parallels, and it's always fun to learn. Sports is the best way to learn, in my opinion. I love
100%.
it. Yeah.
All right, Cam Scadaboo and
Oh,
Jackson.
just
Dart,
talking about the
like,
Giants.
Two young bucks taking over the league.
Man,
I'm a huge Jackson Dart fan. I love the Jackson Dart TikTok edits. So definitely a huge fan of his. Love the confidence. He's got the chains out. He's ready to rock. It's funny too because he was at USC at first.
yeah.
Pretty much now all the best quarterbacks besides Patrick Mahomes transfers.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I'm biased. I think Caleb Williams and Roman Dunze are the new take at the town of the NFL. But
Yeah, let's go Bears. Bear down.
so here's my take. Jackson Dart, great OC mind in college. Learned a ton. Has a phenomenal arm.
Great arm talent.
I think he's hindered a little bit by his coach. We saw Daniel Jones work.
You don't like
under-
Dable?
Well, Daniel Jones worked under Dable, right?
He's doing a lot better with the Colts.
Look at him now, right? He's thriving once you get out of there. So I'm a little.
Do you think it's the
skeptical.
coach or the city?
So here's the problem. Dable thrived with Josh Allen. Was it Dable or was it Josh Allen? Part of me thinks it was Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Now you go to
kind
New
of
York.
like Belichick with Brady.
You've struggled with Daniel Jones, who's clearly thriving once you're out. I think Jackson Dart could be really, really good, but I think he's going to be hindered by his coach.
It's a good call.
They're a great duo with the rookies, and I love pairing a rookie with a rookie. Cleveland's doing it with Judkins and potentially a rookie quarterback.
Shador.
Yeah,
That's
We'll
what I'm
see.
rooting for. Let's
I
go
love
Shador.
I love young backfields.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it empowers a team to.
That Scatterbo
get
broke his
confidence.
ankle now, right?
Yeah, he did a lot to his ankle. He liked it, broke his.
I
fucking
love
butt. He
his
tore everything
passion,
up.
but I also am like, you got to think about your long-term future. This guy's going to last like
100%.
3 years in the league. He's just running with his head down the whole time.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Scatterbo,
like-
we're
Yeah,
we're
no,
thinking
I care about you.
Uh,
I'm really worried
if you're
about
watching,
him.
we
I'm
think
worried
about
about
you.
him having a lot of concussions and
that, and like that's a bad injury for a running back.
yeah, and again,
You know,
think
you
the
wish him
guy's
the
a
best.
great player. Very interesting the way he communicates.
He was a fourth round pick.
Yeah.
right? Fourth or fifth.
He
round
should have
pick.
went higher, I think.
He
Yeah,
should.
that
Like,
that
he
was
carried
wild that
that
he fell.
team.
I cannot believe he fell that hard.
ASU was relevant because Cam Scatterbo.
He carried the team. Yeah, that guy is,
100%.
he is a warrior. Another transfer, Sacramento State, right?
Oh, I wouldn't.
He's
know.
it was from a small D1 school, I think Sacramento State.
And then he's like the first one to like catch, run, and throw for a touchdown in the playoff game or something.
Yeah, he's awesome. I do love their connection though too, and like that's the thing too. Like when you have teammates, like real brotherhood, and you really fight for each other, it's like the best feeling in
The
the world.
only issue I think with having young guys is it extends the coach's timeline.
Yeah, you're right. It buys them coverage.
Yeah, so you got two young bucks. You have Malik Neighbors.
He was young.
You
Yeah,
have a
he's a
really
second
young
area.
team, but if you don't have the coach right, talent's going to get you somewhere, but the coach is
No,
wrong.
you need the coach.
Right, then they're not going to thrive. And I guess it's going to take another year. I think they'll give them another year just to kind of figure it out. But I don't know. I'm not a big Dable fan.
Yeah, I don't like that he's rushing people out of the concussion tent to play.
Gosh, that's not ideal, no. But it is his job on the line, right? It's crazy what the NFL will
Yeah,
do. Like,
yeah.
hey, I need you in there because I'm going to get fired if I don't perform.
No, I think about that a lot, even with college sports. I wonder if you ever felt that, but I always felt like the college sport, the 99.9% of college athletes aren't going to make a full-time living off sports. They might get a year or two in the
No.
NFL, might year or two in MLB, but not enough to last the rest of their life. You getting a great degree, or even more important than the degree, my point is like participating in the collegiate structure, extracurricular clubs, Greek life, all these things, and you have no chance to do that. And like I
Right.
think about even like me playing, college baseball, like these 3 to 4 hour practices, or like got to be here at the field all day, or optional lift. And it's like, was that necessarily better for my long term life than like being in, at this Goldman Sachs
Right.
exposure thing? Probably not. But for the coach, and that's why I don't even blame them. It's not their fault. Their goal is to win or they get fired. So like the incentives aren't aligned. And
Right.
that's why it's so important to have aligned incentives in anything you do, because when incentives aren't aligned, people act awry.
Right, and let's talk about that. It's like when we were in college, right?
Yep.
The schedule for a student athlete is
So brutal.
is-
It's so
is
hard.
brutal. Like I'm talking
At least 40 hours. I think it's probably 50, 60 hours.
40 hours would be great. Right? Like, people don't take into effect like we're still going to class.
Yep.
Like when I was in college, I had checkers at my class. They'd stand outside the door and they'd check off that
Yeah.
the student athlete was there. Right?
Yep.
You show them your ID. Okay, he's here. He's here at every single one of your classes. You didn't show up, you didn't practice.
Yep.
And so I go from morning treatment to morning film to class midday to afternoon practice to afternoon practice, or afternoon film, afternoon practice to afternoon feed to back to film, and then do it again Monday through Wednesday.
So tough.
Thursday's travel day. Friday you're at
What
the
was your
stadium.
off day?
Typically Sunday.
And
but
yeah,
you
so
still
the
have to
fans are
watch.
that you only get one off day NCAA. So ours was typically Monday,
Yeah.
because we would play on Sundays. But yeah, you get one off day a week, and all the time thrown in there, optional lift, optional film session, and it's not really optional, because if you're not
100%.
there, they're judging you
Yeah,
like,
Sunday
why are you
was
not
your
there?
recovery lift.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly. So you have to do stuff, and like you also have to try to study. You got to go to class. If you want to have any type of social life, like how are you fitting that in there? It's a very challenging time, which is great for time management. I can't stress it enough.
100%.
But I do think the opportunity for really intensive internships and networking on a professional level is very limited, and that is against the incentive alignment of the coach, because their incentive is the more you practice and train, the better you are for them. Whereas your incentive in college as a young person, my advice would be to maximize your career potential, which for some it is athletics.
For sure.
Others, there are opportunities that you might want to be aware of, and you got to balance both, which is tough.
And I think kudos to you. Like you've kind of identified the individuals that have gone through something like college sports.
Yeah, we do love that here.
Athletics or coaching or teaching.
Yeah, yeah. I love teaching. We love
You want to talk
ex-teachers.
about a brutal schedule?
Yeah.
Shout out to teachers. all
Shout
of
out
us.
teachers.
Holy cow! I've been there, and I wouldn't say I'm the best teacher, but I've seen good teachers and their schedule and what they commit to.
Teachers
Like,
and coaches are the heroes
being
of
able to
society.
identify
I
that.
fight for that all day.
I think post-COVID,
So
we've kind of
challenging.
become a society that doesn't believe in hard work. And when I was young, my
Yeah.
dad was taking a train to the city at 5 a.m.
Oh wow, really? He was
and-
working in the city. That's a hike.
Yeah, he'd
That's
take
tough.
a
yeah.
train to the city in the
Where,
morning.
Harvard?
He'd get back at 8. Like I'm like, he
Which
worked for
station?
Deloitte.
No, I know which
Oh,
station did you?
Fox Lake.
Fox Lake, nice,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
Oh,
up
that's a good. That's not even the Union Pacific Northwest train line, is it?
No, it's Metro.
Yeah, yeah. That's a different one. Yeah. No, I completely agree, and I
And
think that's a
we've lost
challenge.
that.
I know it's like it's all of a sudden a bad thing to want to work hard and be able to impress your family, but I think what's so cool about what we do here is we're very transparent about it. We love teachers, and we'll do whatever it takes to make sure that teachers and students have a better life, and we'll do it every day.
For sure.
Let's crush. Thank you for having us. We'll have more episodes like this. Remember, we're really trying to boost YouTube and Spotify. Click like, subscribe down below. Leave us your comments, and hey, let us know what else you'd love to learn about on the subject. Thank you for being here today.
There we go.
Great. That was awesome. Let's
Was
go.
it?
That was awesome. Yeah.